hit thumbs up. It's me, the Middleman CEO, Shon-Jhon. And so we're about a month into the new year. I hope you guys are having success. I hope you guys are winning at the highest level. I'm still on the grind. I'm still teaching what I teach, sharing what I share, and hoping that it inspires somebody to change their life for the good, right? I'm a guy that grew up very, very poor, been homeless a few times, haven't had a lot of luck with jobs and careers and things like that. Didn't always make good decisions, doing better now, living a much better life now than I was living just 5 years ago. And a big part of that is changing mindset. So I know it gets a little cliche because I talk about it a lot on this channel. By the way, if you're new to the channel, come on in, hit subscribe, smash the thumbs up. Welcome to the family. I talk about this a lot. I talk about the importance of having the right mindset. I talk about the importance of, having the mental fundamentals, I guess, where you understand how to think. Because I had someone say that, if they had the money, they could do things differently. So when I was poor, I believed that I had a money problem. I believed that the reason I was poor is because I didn't have enough money. I believed that, I didn't have a good enough job that paid me well enough to give me money, the money I need to buy the car, buy the house, buy the things I like. And so I believed it was about money. And then as I got older, I realized it was not about money at all. Yes, money is important. Yes, money does matter. But more importantly, the mindset governs your entire playbook. So here's an example. And let's just start with this. There's a preface this way. There's a poor you and there's a rich you. Inside of you, there's a poor you, there's a rich you. Only thing, now they both share the same bank account. So when I say rich, I don't mean that there's $1 million in their bank. It's just a poor you and a rich you sharing the same bank account. What's the bank account got in it? It's got $100 in it. All right, that's $100 for the poor you, $100 for the rich you. Because I'm saying this to take the emphasis off of money. Same bank account. Poor you, rich you. So the poor you gets access to, let's say, $1,000. Well, how do you get that? I don't know, income tax return. So you get access to $1,000 through income tax, poor you and the rich you. The only difference is the rich you read some books, watched some YouTube videos, completely flipped their mindset when it comes to money and finance. So the poor you gets access to the $1,000, and the first thing that the poor you ask is, what can I buy with this? So the poor you is already looking to spend the $1,000, already got a plan to get rid of it, already has an exit strategy. You give me this, $1,000, who am I going to give it to? That's what the poor mindset is saying. Who am I going to give this to? Where can I exchange this? Who am I going to give this to? What can I buy? Can I buy, some clothes? Can I take a trip? Can I go out for the weekend? What can I do? Can I hop on a plane? What can I do, in essence? What can I do to get rid of this $1,000 as quickly as possible? And that's the mindset of 90% of America, the poor mindset. People continue to think that it's money. It's not. Money is important, yes, and money does matter, yes, but it's the mindset. Mindset more than anything. And so now the rich you gets a hold of the same $1,000. And the rich you has some different questions. The rich you is not saying, what can I buy? The rich you is going, what can I try? Right? The rich you isn't saying, I want to take a vacation with this. I want to blow this. No. The rich you is going, how can I multiply this? How can I use this? The poor you's going, how can I spend this? The rich you's going, how can I use this? Poor you is going, what can I buy? The rich you is going, what can I try? What can I try with this $1,000 that could potentially create another $1,000? What can I try versus, what can I buy versus what can I multiply? So you come back in a week, the poor you has blown the money back to zero because that's their comfort level. The rich you has taken the money, invested into something, maybe a vending machine, or maybe the middleman masterclass and gotten into that business and started their own middleman business from their phone, right? But the rich you is making income off of that $1,000 investment. Whether they start a business or do a side hustle, it doesn't matter. The rich you has found a way to create revenue from the $1,000 seed. So the poor you is going to look at the $1,000 as weed. It needs to be pulled. It needs to be stumped out. Never to be shown, never to show up in this garden again. While the rich you is going to look at that $1,000 as seed. It needs to be planted. It needs to be nurtured. And I expect to see more in the garden. And when I tell you that's the only real difference, I'm telling you that's the only real difference. The only difference is how you think about money. The game is not played in your pocket. It's not played in your bank account. It's played in your mindset. If you have a poor mindset, it doesn't matter how much money someone gives to you or how much money you have access to. It doesn't matter. Your mindset is broken. Your habits, your spending habits are going to be broken. You get access to $10,000 because, again, people say, well, it's the money that's the problem. And I'm here to prove to you it's not the money. It's the mindset that's the problem. So you get access to $10,000. Okay, good. What are you going to do with it? Is the poor mindset going to operate and rule the day? Or is it going to be the mindset of the rich? You get to decide, and nobody's going to force you. You get to decide, what do you want to do with this money? You want to use it to make more money, or you just want to blow through it? Most people are going to go for instant gratification and say, just give me something now. Give me a reflection of this money now, something I can see and celebrate now. Where in investing, it sometimes take a little time. But people erroneously believe that time, is an issue. Well, I don't have the time. Well, sure you do. Are you planning on leaving this world anytime soon? No. Well, you have the time. You can't plant anything and wake up the next morning and expect, you can't plant an apple, wake up the next morning and expect to have apples on a tree. It does not work that way. What you can do is you can plant the apple seed, nurture it, take care of it. These are universal principles. Nothing's just going to blossom overnight. I shouldn't say it that way because there are some things that can hit immediately. I know I'm aware of some, but generally that's not the way it goes. Usually it's a process. And that's fine because most times it's out of our control anyway. But again, if you believe that money is the problem, then you have not discovered what the real issue is. And the real issue, again, is not the money, it's the mindset. So the faster you discover that the reason you're broke, the reason you're struggling financially, the reason you have too much month at the end of your money is not because of the money, it's because of the mindset. So when you do have access to money, when you do have access to capital, what are you doing with the money? What are you doing with the resources? A better question is, what are you doing with your seed? A lot of you just consume the seed and then you turn around and go, why is there no tree? Why am I still here? Because every time you have an opportunity to plant the seed, you don't. You eat it, you digest it. And so nothing is ever produced. You're just a consumer. You're consumer minded. It's give me, give me, give me. Let me buy, buy, buy. Consumer minded. How can I spend? What can I buy? That's the mind of a consumer. Consumers are broke or borderline broke. Always. You find someone who's always consuming, never producing, that person might be at best. They might be 30 days away from, losing everything if they lost their jobs or their primary source of income. So you got to understand that the mindset is the most powerful piece to this financial freedom puzzle. And if you don't fix your mindset, it does not matter how much money you come across, how much money you're given, how much money you have access to. It ain't going to matter. Because the same rules will govern the day. The same moves that you've always been making, you'll continue to make. Hey, I got $1,000. Spend it. What can I buy? Hey, I got $10,000. What can I buy? Hey, I have $100,000. What can I buy? If you say that every time you get access to money, congratulations, you have a poor mindset. Now, I'm not beating up on you, jumping up on you, piling up on you. I'm not doing that. The reason I'm not doing that is because I, too, made those mistakes for many, many years. And no one revealed to me because I wasn't surrounded by anyone who had the knowledge. I was only doing what my environment was doing. They get money from the biggest paychecks usually were income tax return. You get a $5,000 income tax return in January, gone in February. Gone. What'd you do? Well, I bought a television, I bought some clothes, I did this, bought something for my car. And that, everybody gets celebrated, man. I like what you done in your car, man. I like you cleaned it up. I like you painted it. Hey, man, I love this television. I need to come over and watch a game with you. Hey, I see you moved into a new apartment, man. Look, I love it. I got to come sit over and talk to you. We chop it up one day, right? And we all pat each other on the back because nobody knew any different, right? And so now you guys are without excuse. I'm here to rob you of your excuses, and I'm here to rob you of your willingness to stay in the same position, right? I'm also here to rob you of your ignorance. Because now you can no longer say, I didn't know. Oops. Now you know. You know how important it is to have a money mindset, a freedom mindset, a financial freedom mindset. You know how important that is now. And I'm not doing this video to scare you. I'm doing this video to wake you up, alert you, inform you, prepare you, motivate you even. If you like what you're hearing and you're agreeing with some of what I'm saying, smash a thumbs up. That way I know, that way YouTube know that people need this information and they start sharing it, but I can't do it by myself. I need you guys to help me to do it organically. So I don't do paid ads. I don't have a bunch of guests. I should start bringing people on, just regular people. I don't need gurus. I just need regular people on the channel, and we'll talk about how to overcome some things, right? And the challenges that the 9-to-5 worker face from day to day. I don't have fancy cameras. I typically record on my phone like I'm doing now. I don't have editing, and I don't have all the things that all those fancy channels have. Nothing against them. Good for them. Those channels make lots of money, have lots and lots of people that come to view. I'm lucky if I get 1,000 people to look at my videos, as opposed to some of those channels, they get 1,000 people in 10 minutes. So I'm not on that level, but that's okay, because what I'm saying is not for everybody, I guess. I'm not here to appease anybody. I'm not here to win anybody over. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to make enemies. I'm just here to tell you, I've been through some things in my life, and I learned the hardest way possible that you don't want to do that. I've learned some things. That's why I come on here and share them with you. I share them with my kids. My young kids, I shared with them. My son's almost 5, well, 4.5. But my son, if I'm here, good Lord willing, I'm going to teach him how to be a badass when it comes to money and finance. Where I'm going to look back at him in 20 years and be like, oh my gosh, my son's on a different level. Woo! Watch out, he bad. Weston's a bad boy. And Renly too, my baby. She's going to be a bad girl. Well, she's already bad in daycare, but she's going to be a bad girl. She's going to be good on this finance stuff. I was talking to a friend the other day. We were talking about, schools. And I was like, look, the goal for my kids is to be homeschooled. Probably by the time they finish elementary school and get some learning in, then we can start teaching them at home. They'll be homeschooled. That's the goal, to homeschool the kids. Smash thumbs up if you're okay with that. Because I know that the public school system is not going to teach my kids how to build wealth, not going to teach my kids how to start businesses, not going to teach my kids how to invest, not going to teach my kids the principles of financial freedom, not going to teach my kids that they can make money without having to go to work, not going to teach my kids that they shouldn't just pile money in a bank account and leave it there, waiting for an emergency or rainy day. They're not going to teach my kids that there's good debt, bad debt. Bad debt makes you poor, good debt can make you rich. They're not going to teach my kids that if you go out and buy a house, that you should never buy a house if the way you're going to pay for it is attached to your job and paycheck. They're never going to teach my kids that. And guess what? They're never going to teach your kids that. You got to go to YouTube University, baby, to be able to find all this content. I wish I could stand in front of a group of kids in high school and say, hey, listen, you guys will be graduating soon. I know all you've ever thought about is going to college, getting a degree, and getting what you call a good, safe, secure job. And there's nothing wrong with having those aspirations. But let me share something with you. Number one, there's no such thing as a safe, secure job. Number two, even if you get what you call a good job, please don't rely on it as your only source of income. In your spare time, right? I need you to create another source of income. Never forget that. Never forget that. Right? Number three, if you're going to get a degree for a job that's going to be relevant in 10 years. AI can't replace you, and you start off in 6 figures. Other than that, don't touch it. I could also add number 4 as a bonus. If you're going to go to college, try to go for free. College debt is the worst type of debt you can have. You can literally die. We can dig you up out of the grave, and that debt is still active. I told y'all a year ago, there was no way the government or the Biden administration was going to keep that promise and eliminate student loan debt. No way. You know how I knew? Because student loan debt is their second, if I'm not mistaken, their second largest income source. Would you as a business cut your second largest income source behind taxes? Not a chance. Exactly. How do you erase that debt? I want to say 1.8 trillion, maybe? Unbelievable. How do you erase that debt? How do you erase that debt? And where does the debt go? The debt still has to be placed. Where does it go? When you forgive a debt, it doesn't mean the debt disappears. The debt hurt. It caused some violence and some pain in some way, shape, or form. They didn't pay you back the $1,000. That was $1,000 you could have used for something else. That was $1,000 that could have gone towards this or gone towards that you don't have access to. That's $1,000 that you worked hard for that got removed. I'm just saying. All right, guys, I'm getting off of here. Let me know in the comments what you think. There's a lot of people been commenting on my videos about, job safety and people getting fired. I've done a few reviews. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from people that want me to continue. And I've also gotten a lot of feedback, heartbreaking feedback from people that are in those positions, losing their jobs, facing termination, and, not knowing where their next paycheck is going to come from. So that's heartbreaking. I appreciate when someone shares that story and they're willing to come out and share it, because it needs to be shared, because it's a wake-up call to so many people in America that we need to wake up. We need to not trust these jobs. I keep saying it. I know by now that these jobs don't love you as much as you love them. These jobs are not committed to you as much as you're committed to them. These jobs only want to date you, keep you as a side piece, and move on. Date you, use you, abuse you, misuse you, and then move on from you. You guys make the mistake of dating the job, asking it to marry you, putting a ring on it, and then getting torn apart, heartbroken, destroyed financially when the job files for divorce. Just look at my previous videos where I did that, and we talked about, I reviewed people losing their jobs and whatnot. People are jobs are filing for divorce against you. The divorce rate in 2024 going into 2025 in the job industry, in the job segment, highest divorce rate in America is coming from the job sector. They are divorcing tens of thousands at a time. Didn't Tesla lay off like 10,000? Tesla filed 10,000 divorce hearings at one time. So these companies are gonna divorce you. Now, I know that's funny because I'm comparing it to a marriage, but I'm doing it for a reason, because a lot of you already understand how a marriage works, the dynamics of a marriage, and you already know what a divorce is. Right? And most of the time divorce is not something that anybody wants. It's not good. Now, I know it's necessary sometimes, but before the necessary happens, you usually go into a marriage anticipating being there for a very, very long time. Right? So, again, do not marry, commit lifetime or eternally to these jobs. When you're not at work, you should be cheating on your job. When you're not at work, you should have an affair on your job. Let me rephrase that. Because I don't want anybody to be like, well, damn, did he just say I need to have an affair on my job? Been thinking about it. She's pretty hot. He's pretty handsome. No, let me go back, because I don't want to disrupt marriages. What I'm saying is, when you're in a relationship with your job, and I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about, you do need to have an affair. If you're married to the job, you've committed to it, you need to cheat on your job, not on your spouse. Okay? Not on your significant other. Okay? That should go without saying, but I felt like I had to say it. Right? And so before somebody go without understanding it. So I'm not telling you it's a good idea to do anything like that. This is only about work. So so hit thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. Let me know. But when you're committed to a job and you're on that job is always looking to replace you. How do I know this? Because they pay you. They're looking to get the job done, your job done, without having to spend money. So what they're going to do, by the way, this is a great parallel to what I'm saying now, even though this is a tragedy, what just happened with the military helicopter running into the plane in midair. Nobody made it. Just a complete tragedy. Finding out kids were on board just breaks your heart even more. And I can't even imagine what those families are going through. God help them. And they were saying, I think somebody said, I just heard recently, that the what do you call it? The tower workers, is it TSA? I don't know. The tower people, you know what I'm saying, guys, that work in the tower on these at these airports. So I'm here in Dallas. We got one of the biggest airports in the nation. They're even adding to it. And when I drive through, I see all these different towers where these air traffic controllers, I think that's what they call them, where they are. And so these air traffic controllers are in there trying to mitigate incidences and trying to make sure that the roads you don't see, the roads that are in the sky, in the air, that the lanes are always open, there's no traffic, there's no pile up, nothing like that. And unfortunately, terrible incident happened, and people lost their lives, many people. Even if it was one, it'd be many people. Because like I always say, when people say, well, it was just one. Well, what if it was your one? What if that was your child, your daughter, your mom, your sister, your brother? So don't ever say that. If it was one, it was too many. And unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives. But I heard someone say that the worker, the air traffic controller, was tasked with doing the job of two people. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know why, because I feel like the margin for error in the sky is just zero. You cannot have it. I'd rather have more people than I need than not enough. I'd rather be paying someone to do nothing than to not have enough people controlling the air. That's just me. But that's a prime example of, if it is true, that's a prime example of companies not wanting to pay you, or companies looking to get out of paying you, and they'll give your job to someone else. Smash thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. So hit subscribe. Welcome to the channel. Normally on this channel, I'm talking about how to use your phone to make money, teaching you how to build a mobile six-figure business from your phone. I still do that, but today we're just having a little different conversation. If you want to get the intro to the Middleman Masterclass, find out what it's about and how it works, just put the word middleman in the comments below, get the free training, and then get into the masterclass and change your life. Build a business from your phone like I do, and that's all I do. So if you want more free time and you want to make money, you need to be in that masterclass. Oh, and you have to have a phone. That's it. No hard work, no leaving the house. I've been doing it for 5 years. I can teach you how to do it. Let's get it. And if that is the case, then that's an example of cutting budget, forcing to work on somebody else. The reason I'm saying that is to show you that companies are willing to cut you out, pass your work to someone else. If they pay you, you're a liability to the company. The company does not want to pay you as much as you think they do. They don't. They don't want to give money to you as much as you think they do. They don't. They don't want to take care of you. They don't want to take care of your family. They don't want to pay you. So they're always looking for a way to not pay you. They need a way to not pay. So they're always looking for a way to not pay you. I'm out here, guys. I got to get off in a second, checking on the progress of my house. And it's been raining the past couple of days, so I haven't been able to come out. But by the way, I always tell you guys, don't buy houses with paychecks. I mean that. We're building this brand new house. You can't see it, but we're building this brand new house in this beautiful neighborhood with income from our middleman job, business, not a job. I don't do any work, but we're building the house with income from our middleman business. I'll show you the house real quick since I'm on the other side of the lake. I don't know if you can see it, because some people have been asking for an update. You see that house right there? All right, there it is. There's my house. Tried to zoom in. I hope that helps you. I have a lake in the front, lake on the side, beautiful house. Look like we got some neighbors building. That's gonna be awesome. But saying all that to say this, we used the middleman business to build this house. We did not use paychecks or anything like that. And we're excited. We're ready to move in. Right next to this lake you guys can't see, there's going to be a beautiful amenity center. Beautiful, beautiful amenity center right across the street from our house. So beautiful homes out here that are built. Beautiful houses. And so, but anyway, I just wanted to share with you guys whatever I can to help you, to bless you, to change your life. I love these lakes next to the house. Going to be awesome. They're working on the walking trails back there. Look at all those lakes right in front of your boy's house. So there's the lakes, and there's my house right there, the edge of it. All right, I got to get out because I got to go in and do some, we got to work on, I got to go do the solid inspection. So I'm going to pull up right here because I see there are some workers at the house. So pull up right here. And all right, so put it back on me. That's enough. But again, just wanted to share with you guys the importance. I'm trying to see who's in there. The bricks are up. The walls are painted. All that's up. I don't know who's in there. I think the electrical's up. I'd have to walk in here and see. I don't know who's in that truck. Well, I'm gonna love sitting up there in that loft window looking out at this lake. We love sitting down in that office window looking out at this lake. We're super excited. But again, guys, learn the fundamentals of money so you don't make the same financial mistakes. You don't repeat these habits. I'm a guy who was homeless just a few years ago. And I met a guy yesterday. We were shooting basketball in the middle of the day because I don't have a job, but it's cool. I have a business, a middleman business. And he's from the same city I was from. And I said, hey, I'm telling everybody that I was homeless. You were there. You know what happened down there. We had this massive flood. So he was like, yeah, people lost everything. It's like, yeah, I was one of them. That was the last time I was homeless in 2017. And I was like, man, I never want to go through that again. And it changed my life, where I was like, don't want to be in a position where I don't have anything. Don't want to be in a position where I have no money. I have no access to money. I want to live the best life I can. And that prompted me to get to where I am today. So, but don't buy houses with paychecks. If we buy this house with a paycheck, if it has a 30-year mortgage, we need a 30-year job. Nobody wants to do that. We want to travel. We want to enjoy life. We want to spend money. We want to have a lot of fun. Wow, so I live very close to DFW airport now. I've never seen like one of these, that looks like an A380, huge plane, cargo plane probably, fly over this neighborhood because I'm probably about 30 minutes away from the airport. Now, where I live now in the Meridian, it's on the final approach, airplanes all day long rumbling over. I see international flights all the time just rumbling across the neighborhood. So, all right, guys, we're going to get off here. Check this. Leave a thumbs up. If you have a question or comment, you're welcome to ask. I'll do a walkthrough soon because I know somebody was like, there was a couple people on the videos that was like, hey, keep me posted on the progress of the house. There's that plane. So I said, all right, I'll do a walkthrough and then I'll share some of what what we've been doing and what the house is going to look like and whatnot. But again, never buy a house with a paycheck. I could do a whole video on that. The best thing you could do is ACL, asset times cash flow equals liability. Use an asset. So use money, use resources to get an asset. And what's an asset? Anything that puts money into your pocket, whether you go to work or not, whether you have a job or not, doesn't matter. The asset still brings you money. Good example would be a middleman business or a vending machine, something like that. Number 2, cash flow. Cash flow is money flowing to you from the asset. So if I have a middleman business and it makes me $10,000 a month, the cash flow is $10,000. The asset is the middleman business. Now, the asset times cash flow equals liability. Means you use an asset to create cash flow, use the cash flow to buy the liability. So what's the liability? Well, in this case, the house is. What? The house is a liability? Yes. A house that you live in and spend money out of your pocket to buy is a liability to you. It's an asset to the bank because the house makes money for the bank or the loan or the lender. The house takes money from you, which makes it a liability. Now, if you rent the house out, someone pays for it, pay you and pay the bank, then it's an asset because then it makes money for you. But as long as you're the one who's paying, it takes money from you. So it's a liability. But there's nothing wrong with it. You can use, the problem is when you use your paycheck to do it. So use cash flow from an asset to buy the liability, which is what we did. So we built a middleman business. We let it grow, created enough money to buy and build our new house in this beautiful master plan neighborhood. So we use an asset, the middleman business, cash flow from the middleman business to buy the liability, the house, ACL. If you want me to do a video on this, just put the word ACL in the comments below, and I'll do a breakdown on my board. Otherwise, guys, I got to go. Let me get in here and check this house out, see what kind of progress we've made, make sure everything is to our liking, and I'll see you guys on the next video. If you want to get access to that free live training, you're sitting there going, Sean, you're right. These jobs are not safe. I need to learn how to make money when I'm not at work. Just put the word middleman in the comments below to get access to the free training, and then get into the masterclass and start your own business. And I'll be there to help you. See you guys on the next video. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace.